pretty decent, to be honest. Alright, so here's my build with the Sorcerer for levels 1 to 15, or even like 1 to 20.
I need time to prepare.
I'll kind of show you here why it's so good. Obviously, you need the mana pool to do stuff, but it's the chain lightning that makes it so ridiculously good. So it's great for leveling. I'm sure it'll be okay with like some variations as you go higher, but like this is made for like just leveling through, having a good time. By no means is this like a pro build or anything, but like I've had a blast playing this and it felt pretty powerful, even with very garbage gear that I've had up to this point. So yeah, a lot of it's going to be like your mobility like this. Then you have your teleport, which for me is Y. So you can kind of like phase through people during combat. A little bit later, you'll get things like Ice Barrier, which helps you boost your mana over time. And then you have Frost Nova, which will freeze them in place. And then your basic attack is just this here, which is for me is A. But let me show you on the skill tree here on how this kind of all breaks down. And again, what's so beautiful about this is not that you should try this build, but you should try stuff early because you can refund stuff for like little to no cost. And it's like really fun to kind of see how things go. Now look, even my basic Arc Lash, I'm level what, 24 right now. My Arc Lash is like level 1. I haven't got anywhere past that because I'm having too much fun with everything else. Oh, there it is. So I just assigned this to start. And then as I went down the tree here, like if you need another one of these items here, I just picked, what is this, the Flame Bolt, and then I undid that one. I refunded it back after I had enough to go down here. And then I picked, as soon as I could, I picked Chain Lightning. And then to have another skill or ability, then I picked Fireball, right? And then I started to boost my Chain Lightning. And then I went down to, as a matter of fact, I picked Chain Lightning first, then went to this where it says it gains a 3% critical strike chance per bounce because it moves a lot. Then I went to Greater Chain Lightning. It says bounces off you and hits and deals 10 times the amount of increased damage. So if it ricochets off you, you're doing 10x. And then around this time, you're going to start to feel like your mana pool kind of getting a bit low. So hitting Devastation, slowly trickling through that as you go up, will start to feel a lot better. And then a lot of times, I refunded this one, and then this one here was this Firebolt, and what was this? Pyroblast? Is that Pyroblast? Fireball, excuse me. I'm thinking of Hearthstone. Yeah, so then like once you move down here, then you'll have like, honestly, I didn't even rank this up to 5 until a little bit later. I was just looking for like more abilities first, and then you kind of boost the stuff that you want. But again, take the time to mess with the skills. And like, if you assign it to something, play it for a little bit. If you don't like it, try it in something else and see what it feels like. But like, read the text to make sure that's what you want. I feel like the Chain Lightning does so well at like the synergy with everything else because you saw us just clear that area like it was nothing. We'll hit another spot here after this, but okay. So the next big piece that I had, whoops, it always starts me down there. All right, so like once you start to level up pretty quickly, if you want to get rid of these, you can, or the Fireball, right? Because you don't have too many slots to work with, right? Like you have 6 total. So around this time, you're going to start to need some type of defensive capability. But honestly, I went for the teleport. So like, remember here, we'll step outside. Remember how you have like your standard dash like this? Oh, here we go. Right? Teleport gives you another dash. And like right there, I'm getting more mana pool. And it was like effortless wiping of the entire group, right? So like that's the teleport. That's why I opted for that one pretty quickly. And again, you can start to shuffle things around as you need them. So don't be afraid to do that. Like there's really no detriment to doing it, especially early game. I think it's encouraged. So I went right for this, and if you're looking at this going, hey, you only put 1 point in, how come you have 2? That was a little confusing to me at first. Oops. It turns out some of the gear you have can actually rank you up, and then when you have the different colored numbers right here, that's what it's showing you. And when it says item contribution there at the top, that's going to help you the most as far as knowing if it's being boosted. So I went for this one right away, and I honestly didn't go for these extra pieces here. Enhanced Teleport, cooldown is decreased by 0.5 seconds per enemy hit. Or even the Shimmering Teleport after that, giving you 30% damage reduction for 3 seconds. So as you phase through people, you're actually doing less damage. I actually went for Ice Barrier. I went for this one first, which was Teleport, just to give me the ability. And then I went for Ice Armor, which is, once you pop it, this one's pretty important right here. It says, while Ice Armor is active, your mana regeneration increases to 25%. Because around this time, with this many abilities, you're going to really want to be getting that mana back, because you're going to feel the deficit pretty quickly. And again, I have an extra boost here because the gear I'm wearing, I have an item contribution. And then I trickled this one in a little bit later. This one's pretty good. You saw me do that just a second ago. The Frost Nova is pretty dope because you can freeze them and then phase out of the way by using your dash, or you can use the teleport. And then from here on out, because you're kind of building up to this next tail here, I really started to kind of like sprinkle in some more here. I took some points off of the Pyroblast. I'm sorry, I keep calling it Pyroblast. Fireball. I moved it around a bit. I maxed this one out here. And I even went down to Elemental Dominance. Your core skills deal 3%, or I'm sorry, 3% more increased damage when you cast above 50%, and then the next one will be like, what is that, 6%? And I should boost this up, honestly, to like all the way up to 5, but I haven't yet. And then actually, did we get this one? If Arc Lash is initially swiped, critically hit strikes, initial swipe critically strikes, it swipes an additional time. It's this attack here. It's your basic attack right here. So I could boost that one up, but I kind of just went for the ability and then put two of these. Oops, put two of those up right away. And so, like, here's my basic strike right here. If you're waiting for your mana to come back, it's not a bad thing to do. That's what the that's the Frost Nova. That's what that one's pretty good for. Is you freeze them to buy yourself some time. And if I need more mana, I hit my ice armor like that, and my mana goes up even higher. But honestly, I didn't have mana pool deficiencies really until around 10-ish level, which will go pretty quickly if you're playing like that. And again, I find this to be a lot of fun, and you can really play around with a lot of different things. And what I kind of did here on the rest of the tail here, we have the boost here. It says killing killing enemies frozen by Frost Nova reduces its cooldown by 1 second. So this way you can really start to pump the Frost Nova. Haven't really played with these other ones yet, the Shimmering Frost Nova, but this one feels pretty good. I'm definitely hitting some higher level stuff, and it feels pretty decent. And then recently I just put in, actually no, did we skip this one? No, we got one right here. I said align the elements. It says you gain 1% damage reduction against elites for each second you haven't taken damage for up to 40%. So this one stacks. I think I'm going to start building this one up a bit further, because around this time, because you're going to be like 15, 20-ish by this point, you'll start to see you start to feel pretty squishy. I mean, sorcerers are glass cannons. They're notorious for it, right? So what I did from this point is I started to build up more of my ice barrier skills. I only trickled this one, but then I kind of want to go down here and see what else we had. And then one of the other ones I picked here was Icy Veil. Your barriers have a 5% increased duration. So it just gives me more of that damage soaking capability. And then just came down to this one, and this one's pretty cool. I just got the Unstable Currents. It says lightning surges within you for 10 seconds, whether you cast a shock skill, whenever, you cast a shock skill, or a random core conjuration or mastery shock skill is also cast. You may only select one. And then kind of building this up, this one feels pretty good. It kind of boosts everything else that's going on. It has kind of a bigger timer. So like here's the Storm Surge. Just helps you hit faster, land more shots. It's pretty good when you got big piles of enemies. So for this one, so far, it's been feeling pretty good. I mean, I'm level 24, almost 25, and it's feeling still pretty solid. I think I'll try to do variations on this, but I think this is a good leveling for at least 1 to 20, even with some doo-doo butter gear. I mean, look at the gear I got on now. Hot garbage. 21. Oh, I just replaced these. 17, 16. Was this level 13? This is level 20. That's not too bad. Level 18. Was this one 15, 18? I had some like 8s, 7s. Not too long ago, and we're doing fine. Look at this one. It's level 12, and we're still doing just fine even at the higher tiered stuff. So that's the Sorcerer Chain Lightning build that I'm using right now just to do leveling, and it's been a ton of fun. And it doesn't feel too weak or anything. It definitely feels good enough, right, to get things done. Yeah, let's go hit this mob right quick.
I'm not ready yet.
It says the Wild Gamer says you should do a video of it. I will, thanks. Glad I helped out. Here, let me do a better setup here. So I'm not terribly threatened by these.
I need time to prepare that.